When temporarily living or staying in another country, the one thing you always want to do is learn about that country's customs and courtesies, what's acceptable to them and what's not. I've been living in Japan for 8 years, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Japanese customs and courtesies. First, let's talk about proper etiquette in Japanese restaurants. The one thing that you never, ever, ever, under any circumstance, want to do in a Japanese restaurant is put your chopsticks upright into your rice bowl. To the Japanese, it's very rude. It signifies death. It's a form of offering that they use on an altar in their house called a butsudan, and they use this for departed family members. So you never want to do that in a restaurant. If you have to put your chopsticks down, just lay them to the side. Another thing you never want to do in a Japanese restaurant is burp. The Japanese consider it very rude, and no amount of I'm sorry or excuse me for being rude or anything that doesn't go a long way with them. If you have to burp, you should go to the bathroom or try to suppress it a little bit. The last thing you never want to do in a Japanese restaurant is openly pick your teeth. Now they do keep toothpicks, on the tables, and you can pick your teeth. But if a Japanese person's sitting next to you and they turn around and they just kind of glance over at you, they don't want to see you digging in your teeth. So what they do is they cover like this, and they pick their teeth like this so that you can't see. Or you can always go to the bathroom, of course, and fix your teeth there. The one thing that you do always want to do at the restaurant, if you happen to go to a ramen shop, is slurp. Now in the States, we consider it very rude to slurp. We tell our kids, don't slurp your soup, don't slurp your spaghetti noodles, eat quieter, this, that, and the other. But in Japan, if you don't slurp your ramen noodles, then the cook and the wait staff, they could think, oh wow, they don't like it. So it's very customary for them to slurp. And you'll go into ramen shops, it's very loud, it echoes, and all you hear is all over the place. But that's very normal, so you should try to do it as well. So now that you know what to do in a Japanese restaurant, let's talk about what if you had Japanese people come to your house or you're moving into an all-Japanese area. When you invite a Japanese person to your house, it's customary for them to bring some sort of baked good, like cakes from a local bakery or some kind of pastry dish to bring over. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing overly big, it's just their way of saying thank you for inviting me to your house. And you should return that favor if you were to go to their house. When you're moving into a new neighborhood, if you're living around a base, you could be moving into a very large American neighborhood. So customs and courtesies are a little different. Usually your new neighbors come over and greet you, hey, welcome to our neighborhood. But in Japan, what you do is you go to the bakery, you buy small gifts of cakes or some kind of pastry, and you give it to your neighbors on the right, the left, in front, and behind. And it's just your way of saying, hi, I'm moving in, I'm going to be your neighbor, please accept me, type of thing. When we moved in, we have 4 dogs, and they tend to bark a lot. So we bought big cakes and stuff for all of our neighbors because we didn't want our dogs to become annoying. And it's kind of a way of saying, hey, I'm not perfect, but please accept any flaws I might have, or this, that, and the third. And it just goes a long way with the Japanese neighbors, and it's part of their customs. So now that you know a little bit about customs and courtesies in Japan, I hope that your stay in the land of the rising sun will be enjoyable. O tanashimi ni!